Hi guys, this is the update from TV 19 News in South Carolina.
A palm tree in half. Our News 19's Nick Jones. I hope you got a little bit of sleep last night. He joins us now with the very latest from Sumter. Nick.
Well, Andrew and Brandon, the story hasn't been so much as of the rain so far right now, but really it's been the wind, like you just mentioned. And right here at our hotel, you can clearly see where the wind has been a problem, especially with the down palmetto tree right here. Debris is right here down on the ground. And it wasn't only this tree on this side, there's actually a palmetto tree on the other side. And you can see that there's another piece down here that is down. Now, the trees have been falling down a little bit around Sumter. According to the Sumter Police Department on the Twitter last night at Wilson Hall, there was Wilson Hall Road. There was a tree that did fall down out on the roadway. So they're urging people to stay off the roads as much as possible. But you can see this is a pretty good chunk right here that fell down. So this is part of the concern. They don't want people coming out because if the wind is really strong and the trees do come down, then it could, injure you. It could impact you. So they were asking people to stay off those roadways and not have that problem. But the other things they've been asking people to do is to stay off their cell phones if possible. And the reason for that is if someone is trying to make an emergency call and there's too many calls going through the cell phone tower, that might be a problem. And the reason for that is that could clog up the cell phone towers and the emergency call couldn't go through. So they're asking people to stay off their cell phones as much as possible. And there's a lot of things that's going to change. Obviously, the rain is still coming on this way. So don't be fooled right now. If it's not raining that hard, don't think that there's something on the way because there's definitely something coming towards Sumter County.
Nick, we've seen a lot of folks in Sumter who has said that they are without power. Have you seen any areas there in the central part of the city whose power's been knocked out to yet?
So far, at least on Highway 378, that's kind of near Shaw Air Force Base, we haven't seen a lot of power out. I think closer down towards Myrtle Beach Highway is where a lot of that power outage has been out. But it's kind of grown a lot. Earlier yesterday, probably around 4 o'clock, there was maybe 100 or so people without power. But last check, just about 10, 15 minutes ago, there's over 3,000 people without power right now. And that's just with Duke Energy because there's two power companies. There's Duke Energy as well as Black River. And right now, that's been the story as far as people losing power and becoming an issue. But also, folks, if power's out, if you know there's a power line down in your area, make sure that you don't go over to that spot. You need to make sure you stay inside the safety of your home. That's what people are urging you to do. The officials will take care of that for you. Just make sure that you call whatever power company that you do have and report that so they do have that information available.
All right, Nick Jones, thank you. You're doing a good job. You and our team stay safe there in Sumter, and we'll check in with you a little bit later.
All right, unfortunately, we just got another notification into the newsroom. We told you yesterday that 5 deaths were being blamed on Hurricane Florence. Now, unfortunately, we know that number has changed to 7.
Yeah, it looks like 2 deaths are coming from Carteret County, North Carolina, and they were confirmed by County Emergency Services. Now, they were not able to give any further details, but they will release more information soon, and we told you about the 5 other storm deaths that were related earlier this morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's the terrible story of a tree that fell on the house yesterday. These are the first 2 confirmed deaths we've had. This was also in North Carolina. A mom and her baby were killed inside a home when a massive tree fell on the home. The father was able to make it out okay. And here are images of the fire department up there who were just torn to pieces at what they had to see. They said it was just absolutely heartbreaking. There you can see them taking the dad out of the house, but just devastating there that a mom and her baby were the first victims of what was then Hurricane Florence. After that, we know another man died in North Carolina when he was shocked while he plugged in a generator, and another woman died during the height of the storm yesterday when she had a medical emergency. We now know it was a heart attack, and unfortunately, emergency services were not able to make it to her in time.
Oh my goodness, and we know that none of the victims' identities have been released yet, but again, we expect the death toll to continue to rise as daylight continues to come over as people are expecting their areas. Now, I did just get some more information here that it looks like more than 900,000 people are now without power in North and South Carolina combined. And
900,000.
900,000, and that between 200 and 300 people required rescue in Onslow County in North Carolina. So again, we're starting to see just how horrific this storm really was.
And for a lot of people saying, where's the flooding? When is this happening? Well, a couple of different things. One, you can see from these graphics, we are getting rain, but we are getting rain just sort of continuously for the next couple days. There's not going to be that big downpour. And that's why our meteorologists have said again and again, this is not going to be a repeat of the 2015 flood. And that is a good thing. Praise Jesus that we're not going to have a repeat of that. And the reason we're not is because this storm is moving so slowly and it's taking its time. So we are getting this rain over a gradual amount of time. Now, we're still expecting a good bit of rain here in Columbia. Anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain are expected to fall by the time this is all over. But that doesn't include, Brandon, what will eventually come down from all of our streams in North Carolina.
And that's what I was going to say. That's good news. This rain is going to last over a long period of time. But don't let your guard down. Don't be, fooled by that. Because like Andrea mentioned, all this rain that you see in North Carolina, they got the heaviest pockets of rain. All that's going to flow down through our rivers and streams, and we're going to get it here in the Palmetto State. So, we could be dealing with flooding well into next week.
Well into next week. And like Efren said this morning, because I was kind of trying to pin him down for a timeline, because those of us who aren't meteorologists and all of our friends online, we like specific times. No, tell me when it's going to flood. I need to know when it's going to flood. I need to know when I'm going to start to see it. And Efren said it'll take the trickle-down effect, basically. That's not a meteorological term. That's just what I call it. The trickle-down effect from North Carolina, he said, is going to be over the next 7 to 10 days. So we know some places in North Carolina got as much as 20 inches of rain. Praise God, we haven't seen that here in South Carolina, but eventually all that rain that was up in North Carolina is going to start making its way down streams and rivers, and we should see our own water levels start to rise over the next 7 to 10 days. That's what Efren said. And as far as the rain goes here, once again, we're expecting 5 to 10 inches. But it's not going to be a quick, immediate 5 to 10 inches. It's going to be gradual over the next several days.
These are all lightning strikes.
Facebook comments here because, again, we are streaming live on Facebook, which is a blessing for some of our friends who are without power right now. And going through some of these comments, now somebody is saying, is it okay? Will I be able to drive from Columbia to Minnesota? We're saying no.
To Minnesota?
We want
Who's trying to go to Minnesota right now?
We want you to stay put right now. Stay inside. Do not get on the roads because, again, this system is moving towards us, and we don't know how bad the wind and the rain is going to be, and we are expecting those wind gusts to be mighty high. Another question that I saw here that I did want to comment on was about shelters. We are still getting people who are asking us questions about shelters, about where to go. Now, we have all this information on our website, WLTX.com, but if our producer is in the back, hopefully he still has that page pulled up. Here's a list of shelters where you can go. Now, you can look at this by area. You can see there are some that are in Bishopville, Andrews, and Manning, as well as in Barnwell, Richburg, Kingstree. So all of this information is on our website, WLTX.com. You can also go to the South Carolina Emergency Management website. All of this information is there. And we also know that
I'll put this web link up
in the Columbia area last night. Francis Burns, United Methodist Church, they are now open, as well as
Shandon Methodist, which everybody knows. It's
all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let this end. Death toll has risen now to 7 people dead for the hurricane and now tropical storm. God bless. Thank you for watching. You guys are awesome.
I just want to make sure.
That's where Brady went to preschool. I'm sorry.
Shannon Baptist.
Shannon Baptist.